Hi guys, and welcome to another Bootstrap 4 tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've been building some text with effects here. We've done these shadows and we've done this SVG here. And today we're going to do this sort of wavy text that I've got going on here. And these are great for sort of hero sections or little sections you want to grab a bit of attention with. Of course, you can link these or do whatever you want to with them. We're going to be building this with the Bootstrap 4 framework today. Of course, these will work with HTML, and you can also incorporate them into a WordPress site with a bit of jigging around, as long as you're able to customize the CSS and what have you. But like I say, we're building this with Bootstrap today, and we're going to use the brackets text editor, which is a free editor. You can download this from below the video here. So where we left off last time was here with that last one. And I've got this page open, and I have to thank Lucas Beber for this wavy text we've got going on here. We'll actually recreate this and then we'll turn it into our own. So if we take a look at this, it's on CodePen here, and I'll put this link below so you can grab the code also. Here's his HTML, which is fairly straightforward. This is the actual SVG, which is the text with the movement behind it there, and a link that's pulling in the actual font that we're using from Google there, the actual ocean. Over here we've got some CSS, or it's actually Stylus, which is CSS without the brackets and everything. Probably not going to need a lot of that, but we'll use it just for demonstration. What we'll do, like I say, we'll recreate this, then make it our own. And to keep things simple, on our Bootstrap here, we're using straight CSS, on-page CSS. So to enable us to continue doing that, I'm going to convert this Stylus, see it says Stylus there, back to conventional CSS. And I'll put this compiler link. This is just an online tool for changing code here. I'll put this link below the video also. All you do is copy the code, the Stylus code, paste it in there, hit the compile button, and it turns it back into regular CSS for us right there. Okay, so let's get building. Let's open our bracket software. Go down to where we left off, which was here. Let's create another section. I'm going to give it an ID. Let's give it an ID. I'll call it ocean for that wavy text. ID equals ocean. Close that out. Then in between there, I want to put a div with the class of container. This will actually contain our text element and our SVG. And in between there's where we want to put our HTML code. So let's go back to CodePen. And let's take this code, not this first bit, I'll show you what to do with that in a second, just from the opening SVG tag to the closing SVG tag down at the bottom there. Control C to copy, back to our brackets. Tab across, and we've pasted that in there. I'm just going to tidy it up. I'm just going to grab that, hit my tab key, bring it across in line. Won't affect the way it displays, it just makes it more user friendly to see the code. Okay, so we've got that in there. If we go back, now let's grab this bit. And what this does, this grabs the font from Google that we want to use here. Control C to copy. Now we need to put this in the head of our page here. And for this page setup that we're using here, we did this in an early video. I'm not going to go over it again, but I'll put the link to the previous video in there so you can see how easy it is to set up this page with Bootstrap. And I've just pasted that just under where our Bootstrap CSS link is for the style sheet there. And as we're scrolling down, we're passing up all the on-page CSS that we put in for our other texts. So now let's go to our CSS. We actually want to go to the real CSS. I'm going to copy this, but I'm going to change the body to that ocean section because I don't want this to affect everything on our page, just that section. So I'm going to hit Control C to copy. I'm going to go back to our Bootstrap template, drop down a couple, and again I'm just going to select that, tab it over so it's in line. There we go. Okay, so we created that section called Ocean, or with an ID of Ocean. IDs always have a hashtag, classes have a dot. So it's hashtag Ocean, the name of the ID of the section. So that should be giving it that image background and these other attributes here. And I've got an SVG up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually target the SVG that's inside Ocean. So if I copy that, put a space in there, that's now just going to target that SVG that's within the Ocean section. So we've got an SVG in the section above here, and let's keep them separate. Here's our Ocean section, and there's the SVG, so we've just targeted that and that. Okay, and that last bit of text, that's pulling in that background image and a color, telling it to cover the background. So let's save this, Control S. Go back to our online document, which is here, and do a refresh and see what we've got. Something should appear underneath that there. There we go. Something's not working correctly there. That's working correctly. So SVG doesn't seem to be working here. Okay. Let's just comment out this because it's got to be something to do with this. So I'm just going to take this and take it away for a moment. Hit the delete button. Save. I know I've left that in there. I'll deal with that in a minute. And refresh. There we go. We've actually got our text there. It's the positioning that has positioned it somewhere a little odd there. So let's just bring it down. Oh, we can give our section some padding and we'll give that a bit of margin on the left to bring it central. So our actual Ocean section, let's give it some padding on the top of 100 pixels to bring that one down. And we'll also need to give that SVG margin on the left to push it across. I'll do it behind there, margin. Left. Let's try 50%. We'll adjust it as we go. Save that. Control S, back to the site. So what we've done, we've given this section here margin at the top of 100, so that should push that down by 100. And also we've given this SVG margin of the left, so it should push it to the right. So let's just refresh that. There we go. It's a little too much, obviously. We inspect that and grab the SVG. There it is, 50%. Let's put it where we want it. So I'm using Chrome. I've just hit the F12 button and it brings up the Chrome inspector here. I've just inspected, right clicked on the element I want to inspect, which is our SVG here. And as you can see, when I hover over it, that yellow section is that margin there. On the right hand side, as long as you've got the Styles tab highlighted, there's our margin. I'm going to left click on it to highlight it. I can just roll my mouse wheel down and it'll increment down. And we'll just put it where we want it. If I look at the section above, it'll give me a bit more reference for center. Pull this down just a little bit. Probably want to change this wording in a minute, so we'll have to readjust this padding. So that looks about right. Which is 29. Let's just call it 30 for a round number. So this is non-destructive. Once I hit the refresh, that will go back to how it was. So what we need to do is go in there and adjust our margin left to 30%. I know it's 29, but I'm going to round it up to 30. Save, back to the site. Boom. So there we have it. So there's their version. Now you want to turn it into your own thing. Well, what do we want to do? Well, the first thing, let's change the actual, what it says. And back here, I just had it say, wave at me. So if we go back to our Bootstrap, and we go back down to where we put the HTML code in, here it is highlighted in white there if you're using the brackets. Change that to whatever you want. And I'm going to make it capitals, wave at me. Save that, Control S. Refresh, and that should change that text. There it is, it says wave at me. And again, let's adjust that padding to get it where we want it. There we go, we'll call it about 15%. Close that out, back to the brackets, and change our margin to 15%. That should stay exactly where it is. Well, more or less. 15, maybe we want a little less. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, so what else do we want to do? That's okay. But what if we don't want to use their picture? If you want to use your own picture, very easy. Just go to your brackets and put the URL of your picture in here. I'm just simply going to take that away. I don't want to use an image at all. So I'm going to grab it and delete it. But I do want that semicolon on the back there. Let's save that, Control S. Back to the site and see what we've got now. Okay, that's not real interesting. Let's put our own color in there instead of their color. There is actually something going on behind there, but you probably can't see it. So let's put in, I had a sort of light blue color going on there. If you go back to the site and we just inspect the background there. Again, I'm just right clicking on the background and it's for our section motion there. There's the background color. If you just click on that little color tab there, you can go and grab your own color and make it what you want. Just when you're happy with your color, play with it until you're happy with something that you like. Right, something like that. Just copy the hex code, the hexadecimal code. Control C. and replace what we've got going on here, which is here. And okay, text line center, that's fine. Padding top's fine, we put that in. Background size, we don't need that because there's no image there. Background position, we don't need that. And height, we don't need that either. Let's just delete everything that we don't need there. Save that. When we go back, that color should remain similar. There we go. Now, if you want to go further, you can customize the colors that are going on here. That's actually quite effective. I quite like that. But over here, I kind of had it reversed. I had the blue at the bottom and the black at the top. Like I say, you want to make it your own. So to change the colors of this, let's go back to our brackets. Go down to that SVG right here. And we've got various different colors we can change in here. Let's have a look. Here's one. I probably don't want to change that one. That's just plain white. This one is the actual one of the fill colors. You can see it's sort of light grey there. Let's change. I've got a color saved over here that I used before. I'm actually just going to turn that into black, which is 000. Now let's save that and see what it does. And back to the site. Now you can see it's made that top dark. The bottom bit's still going on there, but you can't see it because of the top background. So let's change that path fill color to another color. Back to the brackets. We look down here, there's the pattern, there's the path fill. Let's change that to a different color, which is a kind of light blue color I believe I've got going on here. With brackets, if you hover over it, it'll show you the color. Oh, it's actually a greeny sort of color. Let's save that. Back to the site. There you have it. Now it's giving it a dark top, and that sort of blue, lighter blue and dark blue, because it's mixing the green with this color, which is giving it that color. So there you go. That's quite effective. But at the moment, we've got the SVGs quite big. Let's make that smaller. And that's because I think it's using probably the SVG CSS we're using on that one. Of course, you probably wouldn't have these both on the same page. But to fix that problem, let's go up to here. I think it's probably that right there. Height 100. So I'm going to just delete that. This is from a previous entry, nothing with what we've done here. But because it's an SVG, it's also affecting our SVG down below. So I did save that, didn't I? Yes. The brackets, if you've done an edit and you haven't saved, a little dot will appear there. If there's no dot, it means you've saved it. Okay, let's just refresh. There we go, and that's more of a manageable size section there. So there you have it. There's how to add some wavy text to a hero section or to your Bootstrap template that we've done here. This will work for an HTML template. Like I say, you can incorporate this into WordPress sites as long as you can access the CSS. Of course, you can do on-page CSS as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in web development, take a look down below. We've got some great free tutorials down there. We've also got some premium courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers, so do take a look. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.